Alrighty, so we are doing some work with Miss Kiwi here. Good sit. And we're using the Halty. The Halty is a head collar that goes over the bridge of the nose, and it creates calm. Don't mind all this noise. I picked up my new puppy from the airport, and she's not so sure about all of this. We've got a busy day. That's alright. So what Halty work does is when she's right next to us doing what we want, there's no pressure on that leash. When she's not doing what we want, we either pull up. Oh, good girl. Good girl. Look at all that focus. Nice. Good. Oh my goodness. You're going to be some work for me, you stinkhead. Good, good focus.
Stay.
We got some distractions obviously
Kiwi
around.
Here. Kiwi here.
She's going to retrieve it for you. It's alright. Just grab the leash and have her come with you. Anyways, even with the bone in her mouth, say, come on. It's really hard to hold something in your mouth when you got a Halty on. Oh, goodness. Tell her, good girl. Good sit. Good. Then just tell her, leave it.
Leave it.
Good. Good sit. Good girl. So when she's walking right next to her, there's no pressure on that leash. It's nice and loose. You can see that hang down there. Good, good girl. All that yawning is calming signals, calming herself down.
Girl, sit.
Place works fantastic for everything. Obviously, we're right here. We're working on impulse control.
Here.
Good. Good girl. Good job, Adelie. I was telling you, good girl. That was a good idea to have the leash in your hand so that you can correct for the bone. Oh, look at that, Loves. She's so sweet. Very good.
Nice.
Say, we'll give you the bone after you've worked for it. Good.
Stay. Here.
Little dramatic. Good girl. Good girl. Lots of loves when she's working for it. Right back into that calm, right? So we're exciting. We're working on leave it, obviously. Look, that's leave it. We're working on a heel without saying heel, heel, heel. Oh, good, leave it, almost. We're working on place, which is the same as stay, except for we're putting her on a targeted area. Good, leave it. Good girl. Which is going to help us out with dinner time, meal time, when people come to the door bolting, all of that. Oh, she's such a suck-up. Good job, Adelie. Good job. Go. Good girl. Leave it. Good girl. That's a good girl. She's ultra submissive, so you see every time that she goes up to say hi, Adelie pulls her head up and puts her into a nice tall sit, because we don't want to push her down any. So we don't pet her on the top of her head. We pet her underneath her chin and her cheeks and things to help build her up instead of push her down. Good girl, Kiwi. Good girl. All that focus. Adelie, do you mind if we walk outside a little bit with her?
Yeah.
Want to put your shoes on real quick?
Yeah, here.
Oh, I'll explain the Halty just a little bit here. So it goes over the pressure point. It's all nice and loose. You can see here. She could eat, she could drink, she can bite. Oh my goodness, you are such a stinkhead. Oh, little stinker. She fit through that little hole. Oh my goodness. She's going to be a chore for me. I know, Rain. So when she's nice and calm, this leash is super loose. So we're teaching her there's a pressure-free zone 2 foot by 2 foot right next to us. And when she's in that pressure-free zone, there's no pressure on her face. How to correct with the Halty is we either pull straight up, except for she automatically sits. So we give her loves. You'll notice the only time I'm really giving her attention and affection, high attention, is when she's like a little marshmallow, nice and calm. Because before she was very wired, very insecure, a little bit anxious, stressed out, used people as a security blanket. Wasn't a big girl, confident in herself, so now she's building up that confidence. So I give the most attention and affection and affirmation when she does an expected behavior unexpectedly and not asked for. So when I'm walking, my expectation is when I stop, you should stop, focus on me, and become submissive. If she does that automatic sit, oh, you are such a good girl. If she would just sit if I pulled up on the leash, well, then I would just tell her good, right? I'm not going to pet her because I want her to strive for excellence, not halfway trained, right? Leave it. I know that's hard. So here you can see nice loose leash. I'm giving her the opportunity to make a bad decision, but I'm guiding her. Come on, good girl, in the right decision. We stop. Ah, nice sit, good girl. And it makes them feel super, super proud of themselves because they have a job to do. They're working for it. That's hard for her to resist that nice bone there. Oh, what a good girl you are here. We stop automatic sit. Very good girl. Oh, you are such a stack up. You are. Come on. And then when we go into off-leash stuff, it makes off-leash stuff that much easier when we start training her that way, which is great, right? So leash work, we pull up, straight up to the sky. That's a way to correct and create calm submissive, right? For every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. So if I pull up, she's going to move her body into a sit and a down, right? Then if she starts to go out ahead, which with you guys she might because she was really, really bad on the leash at first, what we'll do is we'll pop backwards. I don't need to right here because she's with it, on top of it. Leave it. Good girl. I want us to equal and mean more than that bone or the cat or anything like that. We should be the most important thing and funnest thing in life. So if she decides to go out ahead, I want her ears to be equal with my thighs at all time. Then I'm going to pop backwards, like I'm going to throw something really fast behind me, and I'm going to tell her back, and that'll get her to back up. If she goes out to the side, I'm obviously going to pull hip to hip, get her to come right back into that 2 foot by 2 foot zone. Good girl. Sit. Stay. Kiwi here? Yes, good girl. I'm going to step into her. Good. Here? Yes, good girl. Good girl. So I'm not going to pet her until she's sitting calm submissively, right? You notice when she went for the bone, I stepped into her using yielding, and that's with place work. We're using energy and body language. I didn't pick up the bone, right? She should know that not everything on the floor belongs to her, especially these retrievers, because they get themselves into trouble for eating stuff they're not supposed to. So yielding, what yielding is if I step into her, a dog should sit back and down, right? That's asking them to lower their status just a teeny, teeny, tiny bit and focus on me. So I can use that as a correction, saying, hey, that's my bone. Calm, submissive. Focus on me and life is good. Let's go, right? So giving her something else to focus on. And that's all good stuff to work on. If you take nothing out of training, yielding is the most important. Oh, it's a kitty cat. Yes! I should equal more than the bone. I should mean more than the cat. Yes, that's good. I know. You're so proud of yourself. Yes, good sit. Good girl. Right, so I give her the opportunity to make a bad decision and reward her when she decides to make a good decision. I'm not going to do her homework for her. You notice I'm not saying sit, 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 down, 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 stay, 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 especially when it's a learning opportunity. If it's a learning opportunity, I actually don't say any commands. I give pressure release, and I get her to think, use her brain. What a good girl. So distracting in here today, but that's good. Good, we're going to stop right here. Oh, yes, I'm right here. Good sit, good girl. I'm not going to reward her for sitting out in front of me. Come on. Because typically dogs that move themselves out in front of you, they have been used to be bribed with a lot of treats to teach sit. We don't want that. We don't want obedient sit. We want calm submission and focus. See that focus? And then we say, good girl, you've been a marshmallow. We like that. You have a brain in your head instead of being reactive and overdriving and over-adrenalized, which creates jumping and barking and pulling and all that fun stuff. Good girl. Come on, honey, let's go. We'll do a little bit of work with her outside, because outside we'll go out front. Outside she would be a little bit distractible, but nothing horrible. So at the door, we wait at the door. And make sure that this little stink head's not. Yeah. Sorry. All right. We wait at the door, and then she's allowed to go out of the door. She's not allowed to rush. I'm gonna move this. So a little stink head over there can't get herself too tangled up. Very good. All right, go ahead, honey. When she's walking right next to her, you notice that leash is super, super loose. We turn, we step into her. release and turn back to the side and continue walking. Very good. Stop, pull up slightly. There you go. Turn into her. Good. Hold. Right there. Don't pull up so high. Don't pull up so high. Right there. Now stay. Right? She's just nervous about the cars. So I'm going to pull up. And when I pull up and I step into her, I'm not going to let her move backwards. You notice that? Did you notice that, Adelie, that she'd step backwards?
Yeah.
And she'd release that pressure from the leash, and so you'd have to follow her around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my body in place and keep my leash in place so that she can't move backwards. Does that make sense? So even though we're around distractions, snow and cars and all that, when I stop, I want those automatic sits if I don't get it. Oh, good girl. That was better. Right, and all that was because she was a little bit nervous about those cars. When I stop, I'm going to step into her. Good. Stay. Stay. Kiwi here? Yes. Good girl. And we go into an automatic sit. Good girl. Come on. Oh, nope. No potty breaks yet. When we're walking, we're walking. No sniffing, no smelling, none of that. That's a reward, not a privilege. Or I guess not an expectation from them. I'm going to stop, pull up, step into her. Step into her. Step into her. There we go. Helps when you hold the leash right. Good. Sit. Pull up. Not going to let her move around. Good girl. Here. Yes, good girl. Pull up. Good. And all that's just because she's nervous of the cars, right? But we still have her focus. Here. Here. Yes. Oh, good girl. Good automatic sit. So I pet for that one because she did that one without me having to pull up on the leash.